Hello and welcome to another PA Matches cast. I'm Brian Perkis, and we've got a 1v1 between Laren and marncore. We are on a two-planet system, with the other planet being a smashable planet, so maybe we'll get to see some orbital. Both players are obviously going factory first, since we've got that ability these days. And not surprisingly, we've got bot factories first from both players. marncore is going for a pretty aggressive strategy. He's got bots running around all over the place, and it looks like this bot is going to go straight towards Laren's base. Laren is going for more of an economical approach. He's got a fabricator rolling off the factory and energy storage going up. Energy storage is a very useful structure early on, since the commander produces so much energy. You can tank your energy income and have plenty of time to recover. You know what? I should get this sucker going. Okay, let's see. Yep, marncore has found Laren. Laren has not found marncore yet. Ooh, interesting. marncore is going with vehicle fabricators. There is no difference between the two, but he's got a vehicle factory, which gives him a little bit of diversity. And vehicle factory out. Interesting. I'm liking these mixed builds where you don't just go all bots. Bots are fantastic rating units and pretty powerful for early on aggression, especially with the current build where they're generally regarded as OP. Bots can outnumber vehicles, but as you can see, pop! Vehicles one-shot the bots. So vehicles are very good for late game, while bots are generally better for early game. So if you mix up your factories and start amassing a vehicle force slowly over time, then you can use that to just kind of slowly ramp up, rather than suddenly you're overwhelmed because your opponent has a bunch of vehicles and all you have is bots. Because once vehicles get to a certain critical mass, then bots just can't deal with them. Got a little bit of a skirmish, but as you can see, in smaller numbers, bots can deal with vehicles fairly well. A bit of a skirmish going on here, so Laren, don't think he's scouted. Laren has not scouted marncore's base yet, but he obviously knows that the enemy is off in this direction and not going to get quite close enough to scout the base. Something that I've noticed with the current build is nobody goes for air, and that's simply because doxes can shoot at air, and once you get a large clump of them, it's just crazy OP. Where the dox will just annihilate anything that flies above them because they can just be in such large clumps, which is very unfortunate because air units are so stinking useful for scouting in particular. They can be very great once you get a bunch of bombers for taking out certain strategic targets like a nuke launcher or outlying metal extractors or something. But they're just not really used in the current build. Bit of a skirmish. marncore is having to pull back because that is a bunch of units there from Laren. Laren is ramping up his factory count, pumping out a bunch of vehicle factories, while marncore appears to be lagging behind. Laren is lagging behind in overall economy production, so we may end up running into marncore just out economies Laren. Looking at the total unit count, Laren has a very clear advantage. He's got more factories and a bunch more units, and a decent amount of them are vehicles. Very nice. Laren is splitting up his units. He's got two clumps heading off in two directions, which makes it very difficult to defend against. Very, very good strategy. But marncore's got that all-powerful radar. There it is. Always build radar. Always build radar. Such a useful structure. They're cheap, so they can be spammed out. Laren has one as well. And as you can see, marncore can see what he's got coming in either direction, so he can expand or counter accordingly. Looking over here on the Pip picture-in-picture. Marncore is setting up a bunch of proxy bases. How far away are those? Oh, they're pretty far, like in the middle, in between. That is going to result in a nasty surprise if laren doesn't scout those out. Proxy bases are very, very useful. Put a handful of factories on the backside of your opponent's base and amass a large force and send them in. And that's one of the areas that bots shine so well. So well. Once you, if you get a large clump of bots, you can just have them steamroll on through here, mow through a bunch of unguarded metal extractors, and then hit the backside of the enemy base. I've managed to get commander snipes by doing that. Just have a bunch of bots roll straight on through the backside. Laren's got an idle commander, which is never good. Commanders are very efficient. Ooh, very nice. Marncore put that bot right over here by these metal extractors, and that bot sniped a fabricator. And it looks like at this time, yep, laren does not have any fabricators expanding at all, which is a big deal. Laren is falling further and further behind while Marncore steadily expands. He's got fabricators working on expanding. He's got this little bit of a proxy base in the works. Oh, and it's not building more factories. That's a bummer. Decent-sized armies clumping up, mostly vehicles. I don't know, I'm going to have to give the advantage to Marncore. This is a decent clump, but laren has home court advantage. He's got more units moving in, and he's going to... Yep, and here we go. They're trying to clump up their units and engage accordingly. These bots are moving forward. You don't want to do that. Those bots will get destroyed. That's a bunch of vehicles, and those bots will get taken out before they get into range once you get a critical mass of vehicles to that point. And, ooh, is Marncore going all out, even bringing forward his commander? I don't know. We'll see. That's going to be very interesting. Of course, we got the amphibious docks, able to power through that little lake or pond, and down goes a metal extractor, which is a nice win. And I don't know, it's fairly even exchanges so far. Laren did lose that metal extractor, and Marncore's continuing to expand. That's something that so many players do. They'll send out a group of fabricators to expand. Those fabricators will get destroyed, and then they don't bother expanding anymore. You can't do that. You have to always be expanding. Always, always. Laren's mixing in grenadiers with his armies, which is a nice thing to do once you get later in the game, and as the docks loses its power, the docks turns into very much only a fringe unit. We've got that proxy base has got out a decent amount of harassment units. These tanks will be able to come in and take out these metal extractors. A bit more of a clash here. Commander has stopped moving forward, so that wasn't an all-in rush. Those grenadiers, though, they have the benefit of a decent range, so they can hang behind the enemy tanks and just lob over shots, and be very, very useful in large army clashes. Yeah, Marncore is continuing to climb ahead in total economy production. Marncore is just out-producing Laren in this. I say this is GG at this point. Marncore, like I said, was able to take out those expanding fabricators, and that was it. Laren didn't continue to expand, and there's the self-destruct. Very nice rating from Marncore, taking out those fabricators. You just got to keep an eye on your expansion. If you lose your fabricators, send out more. Even if you don't lose fabricators, you got to be constantly sending out more and more fabricators to expand, expand, expand. Never stop expanding. This was a community-submitted match. If you have a match that you enjoyed and you think other people would like to watch, let me know. Head on over to pamatches.com/submit. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know what you think in the comments. Don't forget to drop a like and a subscribe, and I'll see you next time.